Next, Mike Lyle. If you can hang on while they clean up. And then just go ahead and come up when it's clear. Identify yourself for the record. You have 3 minutes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. My name is Mike Lyles. I've been a Tucson resident for 15 years. My kids go to school in the Yampai District. I live in Ward 3, which means my council person is Paul Durum, and I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran. What I'm going to say here, I know that my comments are falling on deaf ears. I understand that completely. But I'm going to read the current U.S. Federal Code to you guys, the Board of Supervisors. Anybody can go online, read this, print this out, Cornell Law School website, law.cornell.edu. U.S. Code Title 8, Nationality, Chapter 12, Immigration and Nationality, Subchapter 2, Immigration, Part 8, General Penalty Provisions, Section 1324, Bringing in and Harboring Certain Aliens. Any person who, and that identifies all of you, any person who, knowing or in reckless disregard of the fact that an alien has come to, entered, or remains in the United States in violation of law, conceals, harbors, or shields from detection, or attempts to conceal, harbor, or shield from detection, encourages or induces an alien to come to, enter, or reside in the U.S., knowing or in reckless disregard of the fact that such coming to, entry, or residence will be in violation of law, engages in any conspiracy to commit any of the preceding acts, or aids and abets, pay close attention to those words, aids and abets the commission of any of the preceding acts, shall be punished as provided in subparagraph B, which reads in part, be fined under Title 18, imprisoned for not more than 10 years or both, imprisoned for not more than 5 years or both, and worst case scenario, death in the case of a violation of subparagraph A 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, resulting in the death of any person. And keep in mind, anytime an illegal alien comes across, Pima County is the largest county for trafficking, period, in Arizona. They come across, kill somebody, rape, whatever crime it is, get sent back. It's just a cycle. Anyone may be punished by death, imprisoned for any term of years, or for life, fined under Title 18, or both. Every person sitting here who has ever voted yes to fund Humane Borders is guilty according to federal law. I grew up in South Texas, the city of Brownsville. I saw the same problem with illegal immigration there as a kid. It was largely ignored and treated as a problem that was known but not discussed. Guys, by voting to fund Humane Borders, water stations are aiding and abetting the problem of illegal immigration. And me saying this does not make me a racist. It makes me a legal citizen and a resident concerned about the safety of my neighborhood, city, county, state, and country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, Michael Meyer. Mr. Meyer, please come up. Identify yourself for the record, sir, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Michael Lewis Arthur Meyer.
Sir, if you could speak in the mic.
I'm a resident of Pima County, Arizona. I am here to notify the board that you are providing aid directly to the cartel scouts that are on the mountains behind my home. If you wish to dispute this, I will walk you from the cartel water station to the lookout hooch on top of the mountain, where I have drone footage of them running off of the mountains when my drones fly over there. I would like to take you on the border and show you rape trees. I don't know if you know about them, but this is where the coyotes and the perverts that you give water, food, and medical equipment to through proxies like Humane Borders, this is where they drag women through the desert, and they take turns raping them. And then what they do is they hang a pair of panties from the tree, rape them again, and they hang a pair of bras from the tree, and they do this. It's a sick game these people play. You guys are not aiding asylum seekers. I've been on the border. I have rescued with my teams hundreds of asylum seekers who turn themselves in at the border. Guess what? There's no water stations on the border for them. I've been out there waiting 25 minutes on a live video for Border Patrol to come up when we had 98 Guatemalans run right up to us. Okay? Several of those children went to the hospital. We didn't have enough water for them. We gave them all our water. It's all on live video. Our teams are praying with the asylum seekers while you guys are supplying the coyotes, the perverts, and the criminals the ability to facilitate human and drug trafficking around Border Patrol. And that's a fact. And we see this and we're outraged. Now, I am telling you flat out, if you use $30,000 of our tax cartel proxy, you will see every barrel wiped out in the desert. This board attached federal funding to the investigation and arrest of veterans on patrol because Border Patrol agents sent my team out to remove cartel water stations behind Robles Elementary School. This is an elementary school 45 miles north on the border, Highway 286. Behind there, we have filmed and documented dozens of layups where sex offenders, perverts, drug mules are camping behind the school. School employees setting out lunches and milk cartons and food from the cafeteria for the illegals. This has all been filmed and documented. Mayor Tucson Regina Romero, she thinks it's a good idea to provide the cartel water station a mile behind the elementary school. Now, I don't care what anyone else is saying. I've seen these rape trees. I pulled these victims out of the desert. You can go out with your talking points all you want. Title 8 is very specific. If you aid and abet illegals, you are a criminal. Going to the cartel, if you put it back out there, by God is my witness, it will be eliminated and destroyed. I just wish you guys to pray for discernment right now because you're aiding the people who are raping women and children in our desert, and that's sick. Anyone who's voting for that is a sick person. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Sitting as the Board of Supervisors, moving to consent calendar. Would anyone like to take items on the consent calendar separately?
Mr. Chairman,
Supervisor Miller.
I'd like to pull item number 5 and number 11 and vote on those separately.
All right, so we'll pull item number 5 and item number 11 from the consent calendar.
Yep.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve all other items on consent.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Moving on to item 5 on consent calendar. Supervisor.
Move the item.
Motion and a second. Supervisor Miller.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to point out that this is, again, another increase from the last year donation to, or last year we donated $30,000. Supposedly they were going to buy a new truck. And now here's another. And I'd just like to point out, number 1, it's a violation of the gift clause, the Arizona gift clause, giving this nonprofit this money. And it's, I'll read it, what it says. Neither the state, county, city, town, municipality, or other subdivision of the state shall ever give or loan its credit in the aid of or make any donation or grant by subsidy or otherwise to any individual, association, or corporation, and this is coming out of the general fund. The other thing that is more concerning to me is that on May 7th, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a ruling by unanimous decision, and Justice Ginsburg delivered the opinion of the court, and I'll read part. The ruling makes it a federal felony to encourage, induce an alien to come, enter, or reside in the United States, knowing or in reckless disregard of the fact that coming to, entry, or residence is or will be a violation of the law. We are aiding. The ruling imposes an enhanced penalty if the crime is done for the purpose of commercial advantage or private financial gain. The U.S. Code does not make it a crime for unauthorized migrants to be here, but it does make it a crime to facilitate their presence. And we heard a gentleman earlier who spoke passionately, who lives apparently very close to where these water stations are set up. And it really disturbs me what he said about it's right behind an elementary school. We're encouraging the cartels who bring these illegal aliens and all of these criminal element, potential criminal element to come to these areas. That's very... And what about, you know, I know there will be people who will say, but it's not a crime. You know, they just want to come here, make a better living. What about the crimes committed against the people who are on their way here? the child sex trafficking, do we ever think about that, how we're aiding that? And the gentleman earlier talked about the rape and abuse of women and children coming across this border, and I've seen it myself. I went down to the ranch, the Krentz Ranch down there, and I saw, the gentleman showed me the pictures and the people coming through, and they see the rape trees. That's real. And the dangers, the drug trafficking, the drugs coming here, fentanyl. Aren't we involved in a lawsuit about opioids? Didn't we all vote to support that? Because we don't want the opioids in our country and we want to get money because we're suing the manufacturers coming in. And we continue to vote for this year after year. It's absolutely terrible. Oh, I didn't even mention the gangs like MS-13 coming across our border. You don't think they're not using these waters? And I was told by someone who was intimately involved in rescuing people out there that the cartels will go, when these people escape from them, when they're being abused and they run away from the cartels, the traffickers, the people getting them across, they actually run and try to find water, and the cartels will go where the water is so that they can catch them, and also they make sure the water is gone so that they don't survive. So this is a horrible thing that we're doing here. Thank you.
Any other comments? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay.
No.
Ayes have it.
I know that my comments are falling on deaf ears. Any person who, and that identifies all of you, encourages or induces an alien to come to, enter, or reside in the U.S., or aids and abets, shall be punished as provided in subparagraph B, which reads in part, be fined under Title 18, imprisoned for not more than 10 years or both, imprisoned for not more than 5 years or both, by death, imprisoned for any term of years or for life, fined under Title 18, or both, according to federal law.
There, I would like to take you on the border and show you rape trees, and they take turns raping them. Several of those children went to the hospital. We didn't have enough water for them. We gave them all our teams are praying with the asylum seekers while you guys are supplying the coyotes, the perverts, and the criminals the ability to facilitate human and drug trafficking around Border Patrol. Title 8 is very specific. If you aid and abet illegals, you are a criminal. Going to the cartel, if you put it back out there, by God is my witness, it will be eliminated and destroyed because you're aiding the people who are raping women and children in our desert, and that's sick.
Last year we donated $30,000. Supposedly they were going to buy a new truck. It's a violation of the gift clause, the Arizona gift clause, giving this nonprofit this money. The U.S. Supreme Court issued a ruling by unanimous decision, a federal felony. We are aiding. The U.S. Code does not make it a crime for unauthorized migrants to be here, but it does make it a crime to facilitate their presence. We're encouraging the cartels who bring these illegal aliens and all of the potential criminal element to come to these areas. That's very... What about the crimes committed against the people who are on their way here? The child sex trafficking, do we ever think about that? And I've seen it myself. I went down to the ranch, the Krentz Ranch down there, and I saw, the gentleman showed me the pictures and the people coming through, and they see the rape trees. That's real. The rape trees. That's real. And we continue to vote for this year after year. The gangs like MS-13 coming across our border. You don't think they're not using these waters? So this is a horrible thing that we're doing here.
Deaf ears, and that identifies all of you, to fund Humane BOrders is guilty according to federal law.
Title 8 is very specific. If you aid and abet illegals, you are a criminal.
One, it's violation of the gift clause, the Arizona gift clause. The U.S. Supreme Court issued a ruling, a federal felony.
Deaf ears, deaf ears.